Welcome to Best Baking Tips, where we bring you all the secrets to baking your best every single time. Today, we're diving into one of the most important aspects of homemade bread, how to achieve the perfect crust. Whether you're making a hearty sourdough, a soft baguette, or a rustic country loaf, the crust is what really sets the bread apart. Let's get into it. The perfect crust is all about balance. It needs to be golden, crispy, and slightly crackling when you bite into it, but not too tough to chew. So, how do we get that perfect texture every time? Let's start with the dough itself. First, your dough needs to be well hydrated. Bread dough that has the right amount of water is key to developing a crust that's crispy on the outside while remaining soft and chewy on the inside. A higher hydration dough, like a French baguette, helps create those bubbles that give you that crispy crunch. Now, once you've mixed your dough and allowed it to rise, the shaping process plays an important role. You'll want to shape your loaf with tension, ensuring the dough is tight enough to hold shape during baking. Too loose, and you'll lose that crisp, defined crust you're after. Next up, the oven temperature. For the perfect crust, you need high heat. We're talking around 450 degrees Fahrenheit or about 230 degrees Celsius. This allows the bread to bake quickly, forming a crisp, golden exterior while maintaining moisture inside. Preheat your oven well before you put your bread in, and make sure it's hot enough to get that dramatic rise and crispy crust right from the start. Now here's a pro tip that many bakers swear by: steam. This is where things get really interesting. Steam helps create that beautiful golden brown color and a shiny, crispy finish. The steam delays the formation of the crust for the first few minutes of baking, allowing the bread to rise fully before it sets. You can create steam by placing a pan of water at the bottom of your oven, or by spritzing your dough with water just before placing it inside. As your bread bakes, the crust should slowly turn a deep golden brown. The final step? Let it cool. It's tempting to slice into your bread right away, but letting it rest for about 15 to 20 minutes after it comes out of the oven allows the crust to set fully. You'll hear that satisfying crackling sound as it cools. That's the sign of a perfectly crispy crust. That's all for today's tips on achieving the perfect crust for your homemade bread. We hope you're ready to impress your friends, family, or even just yourself with your newfound baking skills. Thanks for tuning in to Best Baking Tips. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on more helpful tips, tricks, and baking inspiration. Until next time, happy baking and keep those ovens hot.